Hey, hi, and hello, everyone. Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd, and I hope you are doing well. It's time for another video in our ongoing Songs of the Year Billboard Hot 100 Top 10 Music Series, where I just basically rank over here in this tier list, the top 10 Hot 100 songs from Billboard in a given year, and just talk about, the general music aesthetics, vibes, and trends from back in the day. In this video, it's 2008. We've done all the 2000s up until this point, done the 2010s. We're almost done with another decade, ladies and gentlemen. And this one, I think you guys will find especially exciting because 2008 was quite the year musically, as is evidenced in our first classic pick in this video. It is Flo Rida's Low, featuring T-Pain. One of the biggest bops of the year, arguably a really catchy hook that a lot of people were singing throughout the year. Low, getting low, I go low. I go low, whoa. Love that chorus, could sing it all day. But honestly, this track, in my opinion, despite the good songwriting at the core of it, is pretty mid because of the persistent polka rhythms that I think just aren't really fitting and are kind of out of step with Flo Rida and T-Pain's usual, kind of vibes and shtick. I would put this over in the F tier. Song sucks. Yeah, sorry. However, super underrated track next from an artist who was kind of underground and still remains to be to this day, unfortunately. Hopefully this video can give him a little bit of a push, a shout out, like an endorsement. Hopefully me endorsing him will get more people into his music, I'll say that. But 2008 was a successful year for him, though, with the song Millie, Lil Wayne, who thankfully since the release of this song has grown to a much bigger size. But when this track originally came out, he was kind of Lil, which is fine. It's cool to be open about that. Short kings are cool. We love it. We love a short king over here on the Needle Drop channel. We have 5'5". Now that's a problem. But even though Lil Wayne may not have had height, he had big dreams and aspirations on this song over here, where he raps, rippity raps really well, over a beat, and it's impressive. We're going to put this over in the S tier. That's going to be Millie. All right, next from 2008, we have a classic that a lot of people love and freak out about all the time. That would be My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, probably the most popular Rihanna album to date. I know a lot of people see this album as kind of unorthodox, as it's just like one really long song. My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy is handily one of the best songs of 2008. All right, next we have Crazy Frog, which I don't think this came out in 2008. This is a mistake. I'm sorry. All right, here we are back on track. We have Moonlight Sonata, which, played on the radio all the freaking time in 2008. You couldn't turn on the radio not for 10 minutes without hearing Moonlight Sonata just banging out the speakers. People were going crazy for this one in the club. And not only was this track like a pretty big splash as far as the classical genre goes, but also, pretty ahead of the curve when it comes to trap music too, because there's obviously a lot of triplets in it. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It's just threes and threes and threes, which I'm not so much into because I prefer even numbers over odd. I'm going to put this in the C tier. All right, next on the Billboard Hot 100s list, we have Disney Pixar's Cars. Arguably one of the greatest franchises in the Disney Pixar canon. Pixar's Cars sees Lightning McQueen and the gang returning to the racetrack to see who can win gold and get first place, crossing the finish line the fastest. We only accept number one in this race, the race of life. Lightning McQueen is the greatest car on four wheels. And the Kid Cudi feature on this one is amazing. Gonna put this in the A tier for sure. All right, next from 2008, we have the Large Hadron Collider, which, what happened to this thing? We used to see pictures of this thing all over the place. Is it Is it still out there? Is it hadroning? Is it colliding? When's this thing gonna collide some hadrons? And honestly, like I was kind of out of the loop when it came to all the small and medium-sized ones. If those couldn't stir up any interest, I don't get why we need a large one. So I'm glad that this essentially, became like just a thing of the past. Hopefully any collisions this Hadron created, nobody got hurt. I'm going to put this in the E. All right, straight out of 2008, we have Grand Theft Auto 4, which, as far as graphics, narrative, and, characters, probably has to be the weakest in the Grand Theft Auto series. I mean, you could make comparisons and say, okay, well, the super early games, like obviously, the gameplay is way superior than like, the first big breakout Grand Theft Auto title on PlayStation. But in terms of like cultural significance and relevance for the time that it was released, Grand Theft Auto 4 just didn't really bring anything new, interesting, or fresh to the table. The landscapes are boring and bland. The city, construction is pretty uninspired. The dialogue, the scenes, the characters are nowhere near as iconic as they were in Vice City or in San Andreas. Obviously, as well, it's really no comparison with 5, and it's probably going to continue to be extremely mid and underwhelming in comparison with all other Grand Theft Auto games to come from here on forward. We're going to put this one over in the F tier. All right, and finally in our 2008 list, it's going to be the Victoria Falls of Zambia and Zimbabwe, which, as you can see, due to its width and the lush greenery surrounding it, is handling one of the most beautiful and moving waterfall displays on all of planet Earth. Most other waterfalls didn't climb nearly as high in the Billboard Hot 100 this year. And I mean, just looking at even a single picture of Victoria Falls, pretty much, it makes it obvious as to why. Like, what was going to be here instead? Angel Falls of Venezuela. It's just like a single fall, thousands of feet high. It's like pissing into a stream, and it's just like getting lost in the air. So what? Who cares? That waterfall is mid. It's mid. Victoria Falls, baby. This is the waterfall to beat. The mist, the rainbows, the multiple waterfalls in every direction. It's just water, water, water. It's H2O, baby. Holy shit. Now that's a damn waterfall. So, yeah, it's just a really great waterfall. We're going to put it in the A tier. Right there. All right, that is going to do it for this 2008 video. You guys are great, amazing, and awesome. Love you. Hopefully you got some good recommendations out of this one. Did a little bit of a trip down memory lane to 2008 with yours truly. And yeah, hugs and kisses. We'll see you in the next one. Comments, video, YouTube, subscribe, views, watch time. Cool. Forever.